The film opens with an unknown man running around in a thick and very dense forest. After finding no ends to walk out of, he comes across a signboard that says, "No point of return," hinting that once you get in, you can't escape this place. When the night falls, the man decides to climb a tall tree to protect himself from the bewildered creatures. Unfortunately, the tree's branch cracks, causing him to fall to the ground and injure himself badly. He doesn't give up and drags himself on the ground to move forward. He starts hearing strange, chittering sounds from a distance. As the sounds become louder, it is suggested that the creature has come closer. His dreadful screams echoing in the jungle suggest he's been devoured by the unseen creature. The scenes are then cut to the film's lead, Mina, who works at a pet parrot shop on a small island. She goes out of the shop for a smoke, but the shopkeeper calls her inside and gives her a golden conure parrot to deliver to a zoo later. The next day, Mina takes the parrot and en routes the zoo. She gets a call from her twin sister on her way, who asks her to contact her back because she has cut ties with her for the past 15 years, right after their mother died. But Mina ignores her. After some time, Mina's car stops functioning and stops in the middle of the same woods where the unknown man was shown in the beginning. Despite being scared, she musters the courage to walk out of her car with the parrot to find a solution. There she sees the same signboard and panics. She keeps walking forward and hopes to find a way out, but she keeps getting lost. Subsequently, she spots a gray-haired woman, so she starts running after her. The woman leads her to a door opening and gives her a 5-second window to pass through the door, or else it will close down. Mina runs as fast as she can and successfully makes it to the other end of the door, where she finds out that she's entered a shelter. The woman locks the heavy door and introduces herself as Madeline. Madeline also introduces her to 2 more refugees in the co-op, named Kiara and Daniel. They call the shelter the co-op and claim that they are just as lost as she is right now. She further reveals to Mina that they are hiding in the bunker from the mysterious creatures called the Watchers that watch them through the bunker's giant mirror window at all times. Anyone who steps out in the woods in the dark hours, the Watchers show no mercy and hunt them down to devour them. All of a sudden, Mina hears loud applause and clapping sounds. Madeline reveals that it's their way of welcoming Mina. The next day, Mina plans to flee the bunker and find a way out with Kiara and Daniel. However, she gets singled out and spots a Watcher at a distance. Thankfully, Madeline finds her at the right time and advises her not to flee like that. She takes everyone back to the coop. The next day, the young ones flee once again, but in the daylight. Ciara talks about her tragedy of getting lost in the woods with her husband, who was separated and never found. It suggests that the guy in the beginning was Chiara's husband. Ciara now tells Mina that she and Daniel have been stuck in these woods for over 5 months and haven't found a way out. Chiara takes Mina to the giant burrow sighting, where the Watchers reside in the daytime. She tells Mina that the Watchers cannot harm them as long as it's daylight, because they rest in their burrow during the day. Moments later, they set campfire in the woods, where Madeline tells Mina that as long as they're abiding by the Watchers' rules, they shouldn't worry about becoming their victims. The main 3 rules demand that they never show their back to the mirror window in the coop, always keep the door sealed shut once the night falls, and never come near the well at night. Since Madeline was the first woman among them all, she confirms that as long as they follow the rules, they are at peace with the Watchers. The following night, Mina taps at the mirror window and goes to sleep, not finding any movements or responses. Sometime later, the Watchers appear behind the window and make weird sounds, so Madeline makes Mina face the mirror window in order for the Watchers to clearly see Mina. The next day, Mina once again flees with Daniel, only this time, she wants to go inside the burrow out of curiosity. Daniel warns her of the consequences, reminding her that Watchers show no mercy once exposed. Mina is willing to take the risk, so Daniel helps her get down in the burrow using a rope. Mina finds an old newspaper from 1992, a camera, and a few belongings of the victims. One of the Watcher's hands is shown pointed towards Mina, but since she's standing in the light, the Watcher isn't able to ambush her. Daniel pulls her out and takes her back into the coop, where Daniel uses some of the belongings to fix their surveillance footage and the camera. That night, a Watcher comes by the coop's door, posing as Care's husband. She gets emotional and wants to open the door, but Madeline comes in the way, reminding her that no human can wander outside once it's nighttime. When Madeline demands an explanation for why a watcher is outside their door, she is told about Mina's actions, so she grows concerned. Now, they test the watcher through Chiara. While crying, she asks her husband to name the book she was last reading. Sadly, she doesn't get a response and realizes it's the watcher. They ask the watcher to show himself on the camera they have put outside. Disguised as Chiara's husband, the watcher is pulled away by his kind. They then attempt to break the mirror window after what Mina's done. Thankfully, Madeline comes in front of the kids and reasons with the watchers to leave them alone. In the morning, Madeline takes out the belongings and throws them back in the burrow for the watchers to leave them alone. Mina takes notes and marks the trees with white chalk when she passes by them to figure out the path. Soon, everyone grows distant and against one another. Chiara singles out with Mina and asks her to take her down the burrow to see her husband. They hear Daniel's screams, so they run back and find out that Daniel has tied Madeline to a tree just as it's about to get dark. When Daniel runs away, Chiara goes after him and tells Mina to untie Madeline. Mina helps Madeline and runs back to the coop with her, only to find it locked by Chiara and Daniel, who have turned against them. Madeline takes Mina to a hideout spot where the watchers can't trace their scent, and ends up witnessing a large number of watchers heading to the coop. Daniel faces the mirror and tells them they don't have Madeline and Mina, so the watchers scatter in the woods to hunt them. When they feel safe, they run back to the coop, and Madeline finally convinces Chiara to let her in. Inside, she finally reveals that she had come to the forest by choice in order to hunt the watchers and study their folklore. One night, while she was out looking for them, she found one of the watchers who had shapeshifted into her version, but was only tall, leaner, and horrified. Since that day, she studied them and found out that the watcher goes by many names, such as changelings and fairies, whose purpose is to study humans and replicate them. Simultaneously, the watchers knock on the coop's door, mimicking everyone's voice and the same dialogue they had said earlier in front of the mirror. Madeline finally shows them a secret hatch and a bunker that was built by a professor who had come to conduct research on the watchers. Down in the bunker, they find the professor's old tapes, revealing that the professor once caught a watcher and found a way out. By following the bird's direction, they can discover the river where he's left his boat, on which he had come to the jungle. He then goes up to the watcher and kills himself along with the watcher. Hence, Mina frees her parrot, who leads them to the river and the boat. On their way, they spot a stone with weird engravings. So Madeline tells the kids that the humans and fairies lived in harmony once, but their differences led them to part ways, which resulted in the humans banishing the fairies under the ground by sealing them under the heavy stone, which diminished their magic and wings, which they used to crawl up to the stone. Soon, they start hearing the watchers coming closer, so they run and successfully reach the river, where they find the professor's boat. A watcher appears disguised as Chiara's husband and takes away Daniel. While the ladies row the boat, they see the watchers, and Daniel disguising themselves as all those people who had fallen their victims. After escaping, Mina goes to the professor's university and goes through all the research made on human and fairy relations. She comes to find out that the watchers were brought into the world by human and fairy intimate relationships. She also finds the paintings and decides to tell everything to Chiara. When she shows the old pictures to Chiara, she finds out that Madeline was the professor's wife who died ages ago, so the professor went to trap one of the watchers in order to replicate his wife. The film takes a shocking turn when Chiara returns to her place, and it is revealed that Madeline had shapeshifted into Chiara when meeting Mina. The entire time, Madeline was one of the watchers and was half human and half fairy. Madeline takes Chiara's husband's form and chokes Mina. She reveals that she's the dangerous kind of watcher who can also walk in the daylight, which makes her a threat to the other watchers. She tries to kill Mina and take her place, while also confessing how she has to deal with her evil side. But Mina finally reveals that she also has an evil side that cost her the life of her mother, and that she can feel Madeline's struggles. Madeline grows a pair of wings and leaves Mina. After this experience, Mina decides to visit her estranged sister, whose face has a giant scar because of the accident that was caused by Mina. While Mina mends her relationship with her sister, we see Madeline spying on Mina in the form of a little girl. Here, the film ends. Thank you for being a part of our video. If these tales of mystery and intrigue sent shivers down your spine, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more bone-chilling narratives. Stay tuned. And until next time, stay captivated.